All right, welcome back to another episode. We are getting into another wonderful sample given to me by a good friend. And this time we're going to get into some of this fancy Japanese. All right, so Japanese whiskey is very popular, not just in Japan, but also in America, maybe even a little more so in America, because we have an affinity for other people's culture. I dated Japanese lady for quite a while and taught me a few things. And the biggest thing that we seem to get wrong a lot of times is pronunciation of anything produced by the Japanese. And so I thought I'd take a stab at how you actually pronounce Yamazaki because it's not just spit out like that. It's Yamazaki. And so if you didn't catch that, Yamazaki is how it's actually pronounced. And you can say it a little bit faster, but you don't go Yamazaki, just like you don't go Yamaha, Yamaha. Anyway, enough on the pronunciation. Let's see if what they created is any good. So this is the Yamazaki 12 year coming in at 151 proof. 151. I had to do the math 3 times to make sure that I was getting that right because that's hazmat and then some. I mean, this 151 proof, you're getting right up into there to that, that Everclear runs 151 proof. You've got just good old 151 that is 151 proof, which is, of course, everybody knows is a rum. And to be honest with you, I haven't seen that one around for a while, so I'm not sure if they still make that one. But it was a really strong overproof rum as well. But that's enough jibber jabber. Let's see what we got. Smells really sweet, like really sweet, like wine sweet. Like I can definitely smell some green grape. It really makes me wonder what I've got in my glass, because I know it's labeled. It says it's a Yamazaki 12 year. Man, that smells really, really much more like a Scotch or that was finished in like a white wine, which I actually do have a bottle of Scotch that was finished in Chardonnay barrels. I haven't drank it yet because it was signed by Catherine McMillan from the Kilholman brand, and so if I get an autograph on a bottle, it becomes part of the collection. And it's really going to be one of those super rare special bottles to drink because realistically, that's a bottle that I could probably go find somewhere else. There's no point in drinking one that's autographed. So that is that's wild. The nose on it, very much of a Scotch, like I said, or a white wine, almost like a Chardonnay nose on this. But eh, smelling it ain't gonna do anything for you. Let's have a sip. Cheers. All right, first drink down. Drinks very much like a non-heated Scotch. Very much like a non-heated Scotch is what this reminds me of. It doesn't have this really big, huge Kentucky hug. This is my first drink of the day, and if I hadn't read that this was 151 proof, I wouldn't have believed it because realistically, that drink's closer to like 105 proof. There's no burn. There's no nothing. To use that word smooth, that is really smooth. Like it's not that oily. Really not that viscous. I do get. I'd even say it's a little thin, to be honest with you. Like I'm still tasting the remnants of it, but it's not. It's not overwhelming. It hasn't coated the mouth where I'm just kind of like enjoying that first sip. It did have a hug that's gone now. It was just wasn't much there. It's really easy to drink for something that's 151 proof. It's dangerous, y'all. All right, let's get in here. The nose did not change. Sometimes the nose changes. You can pick up other flavors and things after you've had that sip, but nose didn't change on this. All right, get in for one more sip. Cheers. Lots of vanilla, citric, green fruits, pear, and green apple, and green grape. You get a little bit of the oakiness in here. There is a little bit of it's a little odd. It's kind of like a little bit of baking spice, a little bit floral, and it's just there's a whole bunch going on there. So I'm really pleased at how that came through in the second sip, because the first sip, it just kind of everything just kind of went and it was kind of gone. And then in the second sip, with the coat had already kind of been applied, that second coating of the mouth started to let the flavors really kind of start to pop like fireworks. And I was able to pick up, quite a few other notes. But in the first one, it was just kind of gone. It's just like, was that water? Kind of tastes like water. It was very quick. Anyway, this, I'm going to have to get it. You're going to have to put a bottle on the shelf. I've seen it a couple of times, and I've been like, man, probably not going to pick it up, because I've had a couple of Japanese whiskeys that I wasn't a fan of that were like sub $50 bottles, and they just that wasn't really my palate. And so getting onto this one has pushed it to a different level, and so I think that I would call this like a great intro to Scotch. Realistically, this puts you on the same kind of flavor palette that you're dealing with, and I haven't tried some of the other Yamazaki. Oh, excuse me. I'm feeling that whiskey coming back. I haven't had some of the other ones that they come out with. I know that they have like an 18-year and they might have a 15. Don't quote me on that one, but it's very well known, especially among heavy foreign whiskey drinkers, such as Scotch and Irish whiskey and things like that. Really, they kind of fall all in line. I think that I'm gonna have to pick up a bottle of the Yamazaki 12 and kind of put that against some of the other Scotches in a blind, mind you, so that we can kind of see like how would this pair up with and against some of these others. But anyway, that's all I got for you today. Go get you some. We'll see you on the next.